Hallo Leute und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Livestream hier auf Giving Track. Heute schauen wir uns gemeinsam den Artemis II Start an und ein Freund von mir kommt auch, glaube ich, gleich dazu. Und ja, also der Stream ist eigentlich nur der NASA-Livestream plus ich und mein Freund, die so ein bisschen nebenbei reinreden. Naja, dann let's go. Noch 40 Minuten zum Launch. Also, Pi.
When I think about the four of us flying around the far side of the moon, seeing that Earth rise, taking images and video and sending them back to you, the feeling that I have inside is hope. We know that Artemis II is not the solution for humanity on planet Earth, but it is a contribution in the positive column. We hope that just for a moment that people will pause and say, wow, it's extraordinary when you look back upon the Earth with over 8 billion people and you see this concrete example of what humanity can do, this extraordinary thing when we set big goals
and CDR entity
to achieve them.
And so Mission Control Houston will control the flight of Orion after a liftoff here at Kennedy Space Center. Here's Gary Jordan, who's embedded with that team. Gary, you might have to pause because we did just hear a call out to the commander in Orion.
Will do, Megan. I think that was Commander Reed Wiseman responding to prepare for some of the next steps. We are now holding at the T-minus 10-minute hold. Expected a 30-minute hold, so we are well on the countdown. We are well on the timeline to meet this L- time and launch towards the beginning of the window, but continuing to track progress along the way. Again, I'm here with the Artemis II flight control teams in Mission Control Houston. The team in the room behind me has been monitoring the countdown and verifying their own mission-specific launch criteria of the Space Launch System, the Orion spacecraft integrity, and its crew. During the final poll before launch, if all looks good from each of the flight controllers in this room, Flight Director Judd Freeling will report a go for launch from Houston Flight. Upon liftoff, teams here take control of the mission and communicate with the crew while they fly on the Space Launch System. This phase of flight is highly dynamic, and each console position has a dedicated and important role of looking after critical systems. You'll hear calls from Capcom and NASA astronaut Stan Love in this room to the Artemis II crew as milestones are reached during the more than 8 minutes of powered flight on the core stage. Liftoff and ascent are just the beginning. This room will be staffed around the clock over the next 10 days to oversee every moment of the mission through splashdown. Here from the Johnson Space Center, we'll be streaming the mission live 24/7 so anyone can follow the crew's journey, take peeks inside the spacecraft, and share the experience of a lunar flyby with astronauts looking down at the moon's surface. Teams here have been rehearsing tirelessly in simulations to throw every conceivable and inconceivable scenario their way. We are ready and eager to begin the Artemis II mission. Still milestones to come as we continue the countdown, but we'll be right back with you during the ascent phase of today's flight. With that, Megan, I will send it back over to you at the Space Coast.
So much, Gary. Under 37 minutes until the opening of our 2-hour launch window, 6:24 p.m. Eastern. I've never been more excited for a time. But why don't we send it back over to Megan Carter with the moon board to learn more about what happens after ascent.
Absolutely. I am definitely also getting excited. Things feel like they're starting to pick up a little pace here. A lot is about to happen within the first 10 minutes of launch, but what happens after those first 10 minutes? Let me take you over here to my mission map so we can kind of jump ahead and let me explain a few things. So, our main engine cutoff is going to stand for MECO, and that is essentially where the rocket's job is done, and it is then going to turn the propulsion duties over to our ICPS. That stands for Interim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage. Don't try and say that too many times fast, but the ICPS is going to be right here, and that's our in-space propulsion. About 50 minutes into, after about 50 minutes into launch, it is going to conduct that first burn, and that's going to be the perigee raise maneuver. Essentially what that is going to do is going to raise the spacecraft from a lowest point of Earth just a little bit higher into space. And then they are going to conduct that nice path. It's going to set them on that nice circular path around the Earth. That's when they're going to start to be able to really check out the spacecraft. The Orion spacecraft is going to be able to, like we've talked about, be maneuvered by the crew. They're going to check out those life support systems, and communication checkout's going to be vital at that point as well, obviously. Then they will be conducting that another burn, and that's going to raise them just a little bit higher again. And then they will, it'll be about time for the ICPS to separate, and they will start another lap around the Earth as well. Now, the ICPS, but even after it separates, its job will not be done because they will have the opportunity to conduct something called the Proximity Operations Demonstration. And this is going to be really important for our future lunar missions because the ICPS actually has a target on it, and the crew is going to have the opportunity to manually maneuver these spacecraft like we've mentioned and practice those docking maneuvers. Now, obviously, they will not be docking for this mission, but that is, again, going to be critical for those lunar missions in the future. Now, all right, after that ICPS has separated and they've done that second lap, they're going to conduct 2 more burns. And what these burns are going to do is set them up to the high enough orbit and a fast enough speed in order to conduct the translunar injection. This is going to be that critical moment and that critical milestone where they are going to produce about 6,000 pounds of thrust. And this is that point that is going to take them out of low Earth orbit into deep space, and it's going to set them on that nice path towards that lunar flyby. And I know we have talked a little bit about why this could be a record-breaking flyby and journey to the moon. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Megan so she can tell us just why.
Yeah, she's talking about the distance record set by the Apollo 13 astronauts in 1970. They were 248,655 miles away from Earth, and this Artemis II crew might surpass that on flight day 6 when they fly around the moon by more than 4,000 miles.
Yeah, it's a long ways. It's tough to fathom 250,000 miles from Earth, right? I mean, space, the space station is only 250 miles, and so we're going, I don't want to do the public math, but we're going much further than that. But it's important, right? Because we want to get back to the moon. We want to see the surface. We want to see the far side of the moon. And the way we do that is by breaking distance records.
Yeah, and the exact distance record depends on exactly when they launched, like the time, the day. So we'll learn more as we go into this 10-day mission with the Artemis II crew. But here we are, 32 minutes, 50 seconds and counting from the opening of our launch window. Feels really, really surreal here as more and more people come to gather on the press site lawn here at Kennedy Space Center. Why don't we take a look at this video that we have here? Some familiar faces who wanted to wish our Artemis II crew a safe journey.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, you are the real deal. You're flying to the moon for all of us, and we are in awe. You're the true heroes.
You are not just astronauts. You are pioneers, venturing deeper into the unknown. But you are not alone. We will be all cheering you on from planet Earth.
Hey, I'm Victor Wembanyama, and I play basketball in the NBA. But I'm not only interested in shooting hoops. I'm also interested in shooting stars, dark matter, and all other types of astronomical phenomenon. And to the Artemis II astronauts who are shooting for the moon, I wish them good luck and Godspeed.
Hi everybody, I'm Ryan Gosling, and I play a biologist who goes to space to save the planet in the film Project Hail Mary. But the Artemis II astronauts are going to space for real, and they will travel farther from Earth than any humans in history. Sending all our best wishes to the Artemis II crew.
I just want to say how proud I am of each of you and how inspired you make me. But it's not just about me. Your mission is going to inspire future generations of scientists, engineers, athletes, and dreamers to do something that they never thought possible.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr., and I want to wish the Artemis II crew a happy and safe journey to the moon, well, around the moon.
Yeah.
To go around. I know what you're doing. You got to look for a parking space. This is to go around the moon, make sure it's somewhere to park, and then you park journey. Good luck.
It's actually a really good way to explain what how this mission builds. Again, we are hoping to land astronauts on the surface of the moon in maybe 2 years. So yes, we are looking around the moon on this lunar flyby mission to see where we might park. Thank you, Roy Wood Jr. Okay, and as we look at this live view of the rocket on the pad, there is a spectacular place here at Kennedy Space Center to watch launch from, and that's the Banana Creek viewing area. Why don't we go back there where the crowd is excited, and Leah has the best assignment ever, talking to people who are super excited about being here for Artemis II.
Oh my gosh, Megan, you talk about the excitement being palpable. I'm telling you, everybody here on Pins and Needles as we get just about half an hour away from launch. I've been walking around talking to people, and I'm just struck again and again by how many people are here from across the agency. I want to introduce you to just a small portion of the people across NASA who have been supporting this mission.
Patty Ortiz, NASA Armstrong Flight Research Center, Orion Program.
Orion.
Kathy Graves, Glenn Research Center, Office of STEM Engagement.
David Alexander, NASA Glenn Research Center, Office of STEM Engagement.
Jennifer Becerra, Johnson Space Center, the Office of STEM Engagement.
Here we go, right back here. Where are you from?
I'm from NASA Glenn Research Center, Joseph Panakitis.
Joseph, here we go.
Wes Furman from APL.
Maria Arredondo from Headquarters, Next Gen STEM.
Mark Robinson, Stennis Space Center, Commercial Space.
Amira Flores, Armstrong, Office of the STEM Engagement.
Molly Kearns, NASA Glenn, Space Communications and Navigation.
Matthew Pierce, Goddard Institute for Space Studies in New York City.
Here we go, and right over here.
Lauren Ring, Ames Research Center, Data Integration.
So we're coming together. We're one big NASA team, one big NASA family, and we have one major message before we launch tonight. Okay, guys, what are we going to say? 1, 2, 3, go!
Das Stream ist auf 4K gestellt, aber es ist trotzdem nicht die beste Qualität, sehr pixelig. Alles.
Oh my gosh, that made me so emotional. That was so
Ja, sind aber
inspiring
auch Kameras,
to
die
see. I mean, wow, yeah, that was
Feuerbälle
great.
aushalten.
I mean, just to hear everybody say their position, what they're doing to support this mission is amazing, and I'm sure this was something that really rang true and resonated with NASA's Administrator Jared Isaacman, again, to see the workforce come together, to do the work, and then to be here for launch. So why don't we actually go over to him now with our Jasmine Hopkins at one of our other viewing locations.
All right, Megan, thank you so much. The energy here on the balcony is honestly becoming electric as we get so close to launch, and now we are thrilled to welcome NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Jared, we're really entering a golden age of exploration. How will Artemis II set the pace for the coming years?
Well, I mean, Artemis II is the opening act, right? This is the test mission. This is getting very comfortable with the SLS rocket, the Orion spacecraft. No humans have ever flown on this before, right? And we're going to put it through its paces. We'll go into Earth orbit for a little bit, make sure Orion's doing okay, and then we are sending them, right? We're going to send them farther into space than any humans might have gone before, 250,000 miles away, and it's going to set up for the subsequent missions. That's why we're going into the golden age of science and discovery right now, because you're going to see a moon rocket launch in 2027 when we do our testing with the lander. We're going to go for the landing on Artemis IV in 2028, and in parallel, we're going to build the moon base, right? And that is going to be filled with science discovery and tech demonstrations that's going to support the enduring presence we're trying to create on the surface.
Absolutely. So honestly, history-making years ahead of us, you know, with Artemis 3 and 4. But first is Artemis 2. What will be our single greatest takeaway from this mission?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, after ignition, to me, the moment that I'm going to be most excited for is splashdown. There's no question about that. Good shoots coming down off the West Coast. But look, I think the takeaway from this is gaining extreme comfort in the Orion spacecraft, right? I mean, this is very different than what we've done for more than a half century, right? I mean, the velocities that spacecraft is going to re-enter at, it's going to be new territory for us. We want to get our arms around that completely. So I would say the performance of SLS plus Orion is everything on this one. We want to make sure we do it in as a safe way as we possibly can, understanding what we are undertaking right here, bring our crew back, learn as much we can from the vehicle, set up for Artemis 3 in 2027.
Right, and Administrator, we've actually had a pretty young audience today here, some kids running around the balcony. How do you hope Artemis 2 inspires that next generation?
You know, I talk about this all the time. Like, you know, one of our overarching KPIs that we should always be tracking is the number of people living and working in space. Well, you know what's another strong number 2 on that one? It's the number of kids that are dressing up as astronauts for Halloween. so that they grow up, that they're inspired to want to join in this grand endeavor, whether they come work with us here at NASA or they join in industry, but they're helping humankind venture out farther, pursue all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of kids dressed as astronauts this year. And finally, Jared, you've really made it a personal mission to get to know the people behind the work at NASA. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words before today's history-making launch?
Yeah, well, one, I want to express a lot of appreciation. I'll tell you what, the 4 astronauts on top of Artemis II know this. It takes an army to pull a mission together like this, right? Across all 10 of our centers, all of our commercial partners, the international partners that come together to make this possible. My sincere appreciation for everyone who is currently working the mission right now, so getting them ready for launch, that will be watching over them in mission control, recovering this crew when they splash down off the West Coast. I have complete trust and confidence in your abilities. And everybody else who's not directly working on Artemis II, Artemis III is coming up next year. When this mobile launcher gets back in the VAB, we're going to start stacking.
Wow, plenty of excitement ahead of us. Jared Isaacman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Of course. All right. And with that, let's get back to the countdown with NASA's Megan Cruz.
Under 25 minutes and counting from the opening of our 2-hour launch window. And take a look at all these people behind us. I literally, every moment I turn around and I see the clock, I am like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
There are more people and less time.
Yes, exactly, which is a great problem to have. Yes. Now, this first crewed test flight of NASA's Artemis program coincides with the 250th anniversary of our country's founders signing the Declaration of Independence. Exploration is a part of America's DNA, and it continues now with our return to the moon.
250 years ago, 13 colonies laid the foundation for the greatest and most enduring democracy in the history of the world. One driven by courage, faith, and freedom. From that moment, we became a nation defined not by where we stood, but by how far we were willing to go. We conquered vast frontiers, invented tools that shaped a modern world. We found light in the dark, and we rose from the earth. Faster, higher, farther. We pushed beyond the sky and into the unknown. We carried our courage into the cosmos, and we planted the American flag on the moon, the defining achievement of American superiority in space. Today, our curiosity stretches farther than ever. American robots search ancient rivers on Mars. New telescopes unfold to glimpse the first stars. And a new generation prepares to return to the moon, this time to stay. For 250 years, America has carried the light of humanity forward. But American exceptionalism isn't inherited. It's earned. Our greatness comes not only from what we've done,
die Amis haben aber viel davon, das muss man schon so geben.
Because in every era, across every horizon,
die Rakete ist theoretisch von Deutschland.
Ja. America celebrates 250 years, and we are leading the world into the future.
Weiß ich jetzt nicht.
Flugverkehr. Doch, Atombomben wurde auch von Deutschen an sich.
22 minutes, 15 seconds and counting from Artemis II, NASA's boldest test flight in a generation. The crew has said this often, that they hope it inspires children around the world. And recently, a group of kids here at Kennedy Space Center got a surprise of a lifetime while watching that rocket roll to the launch pad.
Oh, die haben einfach die Astronauten getroffen, so ganz chillig. So, schaust du so NASA an, so. Und voll, also, imagine, du gehst einfach so Field Trip deiner Schule, gehst du, schaust so NASA an, so Assembly, Buildies. Da spawnt einfach so diese Astronauten und erklären dir alles. Fabian, ich kick dich gleich aus dem Discord-Call, aus dem Stream raus. Geht schon langsam zu weit.
Das stimmt, das ist wirklich Französisch.
Wait, are you my mother's cartoon astronauts?
Wer?
Never mind.
Diese eine Frau, die da dabei ist. Ich glaube, die ist 25.
Yeah. There you go. I like your dabbing astronaut back there. It's just so fun to see the enthusiasm, the energy, and a little bit of chaos.
3, 2, 1.
Wasn't that so cute?
I love kids and their excitement and, you know, even just being real. Like, I don't remember what I was
I know,
gonna
he
ask.
goes, but I'm glad you're here. Now here we are, Space Center Houston. The crowd has exponentially grown throughout the day. We started showing you live shots from in there probably an hour ago, and now take a look at all the people there getting ready to witness history together. It's something really special to be able to witness something like this together.
Yeah, you know, we've heard from celebrities and officials and kids, and, you know, it's amazing. People from all around the world came here today to Florida to watch, so it's something, it's hard to put into words, just how much support for this mission we're seeing today.
And great news, too. Remember, the team was tracking an issue with the launch abort system battery. They appear to have cleared that issue, so we are go for launch.
Geil.
Yes, it's exciting.
Problem gelöst. Ey, wenn die das wieder verschieben, ich dreh durch.
U.S. Space and Rocket Center here, Huntsville, Alabama, waving to the Artemis II crew sitting right there inside Orion. Inside of 20 minutes from the opening of our launch window, and right now we are targeting the top of that launch window, so we could be launching here in about 19 minutes, Nicole.
Wow, I don't know if I expected this today. I'm excited, and, you know, I'm glad they were able to clear the problem with the battery on the LAS, and everything has gone really smoothly today. It's been great. The weather cleared up. It's a beautiful day for a launch.
And so now, as we are so close to possibly launch now, just what are your final thoughts as we are about to embark on a mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years?
Darfst du nicht.
Yeah, you know, just so proud of the crew and all of the teams here on the ground that made this happen. You know, they are carrying the torch from the Apollo era into the Artemis era. And, you know, as the crew likes to say, they want to be the shoulders.
Nein, wir sprengen diese Rakete nicht in die Luft.
And let's see, GLS, can you help us with that, please?
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
Manuel.
You know, I think it's in their patch. We're going for all. It's in the name of their capsule, integrity, representing humility, and the professionalism of everyone that got them there today. So proud of them. We love them. We're excited for them, and we cannot wait to see what they see.
Just leveraging everything we've learned so far as an agency, taking us from Apollo now to the launch pad here, 39B, with Orion and SLS poised to again fly us into the history books. And before we leave you now here at the host desk to get back into operations, we just wanted to answer one question for you guys. We asked you earlier on today, what are you most excited for? And we asked you to go vote on Instagram and Twitch. Instagram, you guys said launch. Twitch, you guys said lunar flyby. So I think you guys will all be very excited since we are now about 17 minutes from the opening of our launch window today. And so with that, as we approach terminal count, let's send it back to Daryl Nail in Firing Room 1. Daryl.
All right, thank you, Megan and Nicole, and just want to give you an update on the launch abort system that you just reported that they cleared. They believe, they're convinced, this is an instrumentation failure. So there are two batteries on the LAS. The LAS, of course, and with the help of my 2-year-old son's model rocket, Daniel said I could use this, so it's okay. The LAS is right here. It's the tower above Orion. Orion capsule's inside of here. It's used to pull Orion off the rocket in case the rocket is something's going on with the rocket, either on the pad or in flight. Two batteries are bad. well, I'm sorry, one of the two batteries reported an out-of-family temperature, and it was very much out of family. And so they checked their data going back into the vehicle assembly building where they recharged the batteries and worked on them. And they have good, solid data, they reported, that tells them that this is an instrumentation failure, that there's something wrong with the sensor. And so they took it launch commit criteria, which this would be one, and they all fully accepted it. So now we are clear as far as that constraint is concerned. And one quick thing as we count down now, we are getting into the final minutes before liftoff. There's a 2-hour window. We haven't quite set the T0 yet, but this is a list of the cutouts. There are 150 cutouts that are included for this 2-hour launch window. And that's important. They're in very small print. That's important because there's basically 16 minutes inside this window that they cannot launch. And these are because of small things flying in orbit. There's a lot more things in orbit than there were back in Artemis I when we had 35 to 40 cutouts. For that reason, because of these 156 cutouts, they're going to be managing the launch window as we go forward. So they may have to wait out one of these cutouts. They range in time between 2 seconds to 23 seconds, but you'll hear the NASA test director talk through that. We're getting ready to merge that loop from NASA test director Jeff Spaulding. And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel. We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD on 212 for comm check.
Good comm. How me?
I hear the same. STC?
2.
GTC?
GTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA test director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point, we have a clear board, no constraints, but we need confirmation from each individual on the NASA test director team. So we'll hear him poll his team. The other poll that we're waiting for is the poll from Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson, who will take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. And you're seeing the clock count down at L minus 12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Orion, RS1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
Hallo.
And CDR, OTC, Orion, RS1.
Herzlich willkommen im Stream.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies.
NGDLP.
Go.
Yes, I had a discussion with CIS and with MER manager regarding the observation the CIS had a few minutes ago. They were able to confirm with BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a CIS or MER manager perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Camera
copy
glitch.
And launch director NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
Was?
OTC, CCL 212.
OTC.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configurations complete.
Copy.
Was, Fabian?
Du musst in die Kamera. Du musst dahin. Die Kamera packt.
Nein.
And CGLS NTD, cancel pending, please.
Nein, das
CLS
machen wir
copies,
nicht.
and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T-minus 10 minutes. But we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work.
Wäre was Schlechtes für YouTube und so weiter, aber Boom wäre auf einem anderen Level problematisch.
So when we get to about 50 seconds from now, we'll extend that hold. CVSE OTC.
CVSE 400-290, looking to verify that we are configured for ascent.
Yep, give me about 2 more minutes. I'm going to start CMA2 streaming.
Copy.
NTD COSE hold requested.
Copy that.
I have an LCC violation of O-CT-004, S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm. When it should have been between 10 and 13, it is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this was transient, so we're back in a nominal range.
All right, let's see, LPE NTD.
Yeah, we're not seeing that hit, so I guess the question for COSE, was that less than 3 samples? Was that below our persistence?
Stand by, let me look. It did look like it did persist for several seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
Could I get a repeat on the affected LCC, please?
Yes, ma'am, that's going to be O-CT-004.
Thank you.
Chat, ist der Stream zu laut? Oder zu leise?
No. No.
Okay. Oder bin ich zu leise? Bin ich zu laut? Ist Fabian zu laut? Ist zu leise? Oder passt das so?
Ich glaube actually niemanden interessiert.
Yeah, I was taking a look at the data right here. Looks like that was a single sample.
Yeah, copy that. RFPS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds. So I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
And COSE, while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second sample?
Also da drüben im Amiland ist es ja gerade Mittagszeit.
Nee,
yes, sir, that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
Sorry, Abend.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Nee, Kennedy Space Center.
Yes, sir. I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We're checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds.
Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
Yeah, so from the Integration Council perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
And this Houston flight, we have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSE.
And KUS has reported to they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we going to go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Okay, LP,
yes, sir. LP concurs go.
And launch director.
Yes, sir. Launch director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, launch director, and if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for ComConfig, or are you?
That is affirmed, sir.
Okay, is that your only open item?
Yeah, OTC, this is CVSC. That 400 step 290 is complete.
Copy. Okay, so OTC, you're complete with all of your work?
That's affirmed.
All right, copy that. STC?
STC is complete.
And GTC?
GTC is complete.
Okay, excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time.
No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir.
Okay, tracking the same here. And Launch Director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the ARTEMIS II Launch Readiness Check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
OTC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC.
C's go.
MCO.
CO is go.
Safety Console.
The Safety Console is go.
LPE.
LPE's go.
RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston Flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
ROC is go.
And CDR.
Crew is go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And Launch Director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the Launch Director performing the final poll for launch. Verify no constraints and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
The Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy, thank you. Range Weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis MMT Chair.
MMTs go.
Thank you, John. And Integrity Launch Director.
Airways Charlie PLT.
Thank you, Charlie. This is Victor. We are going for our families.
MS1.
This is Christina. We are going for our teammates.
MS2. This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity.
Jean-Baptiste wird die Stadt von einem Einkaufscenter.
Go for launch. Full send.
Vertrau.
Das ist, glaube ich, ein aufblasbares
Reed,
Fake-Ding.
Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis II. Let's go.
So, muss kurz weg.
And into the Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR NTD.
Go.
Figure risers and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8 and 9 going to work.
Copy. CVSC NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy.
Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to start terminal count.
arm rotation enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. Once we wrap up this last bit of work,
arm rotation complete.
We're going to start that clock.
Copy that. Thank you.
Integrity crew, close and lock visors.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock on the Orion. It was transitory. It was very short. They checked the data, confirmed that they had a good lock. This was with the S-band transmitter on the Orion.
Ich habe heute Pics von Crystal bekommen.
Worked through that issue.
Musste das on-stream besprechen?
And cleared it.
Ja.
All with the world watching. Impressive work by the launch team. So we have a 2-hour window which starts in just a few minutes at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time and goes until 8:24 p.m. Eastern Time.
And ECL NTD will be waiting for your verification on the short purge.
ECL copies.
And for all personnel, once we get that short purge verification, we'll verify that we are clear to go, and then we'll proceed with the terminal count.
Amis halt.
Außerdem musst du euch Europazeit sagen.
Wer nennt, wenn es nicht machen würde. Wobei, ich glaube, die ESA hat einen Livestream auch an, wo das Ganze halt Europazeit ist. Aber, ja, egal. NASA hat halt...
ECL time estimate?
Real time.
About a minute.
Copy.
NASA real time. Wie lange nach dem Liftoff bleibt ihr? Keine Ahnung. Ich bleibe jetzt sicher nicht die 10 Tage hier sitzen. Oder wie viele es sind. Ich glaube, es sind 10. Aber ja, so eine Stunde vielleicht.
Warum 10 Tage?
Not by much, it looks like.
Na, 10 Tage, glaube ich, ist die Artemis-Mission insgesamt lang.
Just wrapping up some final work.
Ja, endlich bleibe ich jetzt auch nicht stehen, aber...
And once that's completed, you'll hear NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding ask for the ground launch sequencer operator to go ahead and start the clock. The ground launch sequencer is an application software that runs on top of the launch control system in the firing room. Acts like a conductor of an orchestra, executing hundreds of commands.
Nein, Manuel, du kriegst nicht die Fotos. Oder wenn du sie haben willst, frag privat. Aber lass mich hier. Lass meinen Stream in Ruhe.
Eine Fußbilder.
All right, copy that, and we're verifying our constraints.
Das waren keine Fußbilder.
Ja, da ist die Nachricht drauf gestanden.
And with that, we're going to resume the clock momentarily. And CGLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
Du machst durch, okay.
GLS copies. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
Für 26 Minuten?
Hä?
And that begins terminal count. Our new T0 is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We are now counting down to liftoff of Artemis II.
Ja, so. Aber warum ist jetzt hier da 10 Minuten, darum 6? Egal. Wird 10 Minuten.
If everything goes nominally, NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding, who's directly managing the launch team, and Alex Bendelos, the GLS operator who closely monitors the software, he has the ability to stop and restart the countdown.
Manuel kommt dann nachher mit dem Talk nach dem Livestream.
There certainly is not.
Ist mir egal, ob du nicht kannst.
Houston flight copies. 22:35:12.
Affirm.
There you heard confirmation of the exact T0, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Again, our T0 is 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time.
Ja, halt auf WhatsApp.
But as I was saying, there's no launch button. This is autonomous. But there is a button that keeps you from launching, and that button allows the GLS operator to pause the countdown outside of terminal count and during terminal count and submit a hold to the next holding point. So the clock won't stop right away. If there's an issue, we'll go to the next stable holding point.
Wenn er in die Turbine reinfliegt, so wie du es genannt hast, erstens, es hat keine Turbine. Oder nennt man das eine Turbine?
Teil da unten, was so Schub macht.
Das, glaube ich, nennt man nicht Turbine. Egal, scheiß drauf. Erstens, dass es keine Turbine hat oder so. Das, was du meinst. Zweitens, es wird nicht den Start compromisen, sondern es wird dann einfach Grillhändel geben. Ja, genau, Manuel. Da würde einfach nur Quad rauskommen. Oh, Crewbridge.
That's the path that the astronauts took to ingress into the rocket.
Ich klatsche mal den Stream hin, mein mein Chat
Until
rein.
this point, that was their way off the pad if they needed to evacuate. But now with that arm retracting, the backup transitions to a launch abort system. And they'll begin arming that shortly.
Den Chat da raus, ich lese ihn selber von dem zweiten Monitor.
Of course, the launch abort system.
Kann ich ihn eigentlich
Great
kleiner
shot
machen?
there.
Nein, ich kann ihn
Crew
nicht mehr
access
machen, das
arm
ist scheiße.
retracting away.
Ja, lass mich in Ruhe.
The launch abort system is the tower at the top, and that's what would pull Orion and its crew off the top of the rocket in case of an emergency, whether it's on the ground or in flight. This is critical safety hardware
den ganzen Teil
that protects the lives of the astronauts.
Der Teil hier.
Wie groß ist die eigentlich im Vergleich zu einem Menschen?
Starting at T-minus 6 minutes, the GLS will start bringing that and other high-energy systems online, starting with core stage pressurization. Weather is 90% go. The range is go. All systems are go.
Fast 100 Meter ist sie hoch, die Rakete. Fast 100 Meter.
GLS is go for core stage tank pressurization.
That means the replenish valve for the liquid hydrogen tank has now closed, and that tank is beginning to pressurize to flight levels because that hydrogen is naturally boiling inside the tank.
Geil,
we'll get the liquid oxygen tank a little later in the count.
Hydrogen ist übrigens Wasserstoff.
Fabian,
now the team is waiting for verification that, if needed, the Artemis II crew could use the launch abort system to pull Orion safely off the top of the rocket in an emergency. Let's listen in for that call.
Rakete ist 100 Meter hoch. Laut.
And CDR, do you copy?
Laut.
Aber das ist ja auch nicht Meter, das ist
That's great news, and you heard the NTD verify that with the commander of the mission.
Foot ist das groß?
Laut NASA.gov ist die Rakete 322 Fuß hoch und 322 Fuß in Meter laut Google-Umrechnung sind 98,1456 Meter.
So the launch abort system has time to pull the astronauts to safety first.
LH2 high flow bleed check.
Ich hab hier nicht Google gefragt, ja.
All right, the high flow bleed check. That's so the cryo team gets verification that the RS-25 engines, all 4 of them, are in the proper temperature range for launch.
Geil.
Ich will, dass ein Vogel reinfliegt, dann gibt's Grillhändel.
Fabian.
Dann hole ich mir den ab. Ich hole mir den ab.
Ja, viel Spaß.
Was ist, wenn jemand während dem Launch unter der Rakete steht?
GLS is go for core stage APU start.
Core stage APUs start. Those are auxiliary power units. High-speed turbines which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25 engines. We're going to see a gimbal test a little later at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what allows that to happen. Coming up in about 20 seconds, we're listening for go for purge sequence 4. That's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve. This gets all the air and moisture out of there.
GLS is go for purge sequence 4.
Moving through the milestones. All is looking good. Coming up in just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test. This is a gimbaling of the engines. There are the 4 RS-25s. 3 of them. Shuttle Heritage, 1 of them built from shuttle parts.
Ja,
and there you see them moving.
Die Engines sind dieselben wie beim Shuttle, beim Space Shuttle. Das ist auch der Grund, warum noch diese alten, kann man eigentlich schon sagen, Engines genutzt werden, weil die amerikanische Regierung gemeint hat, die müssen das nutzen, die alten Überreste.
Taking ground power away and now going to battery power.
GLS is go for upper stage to internal power.
All right, power is removed from the rocket's upper stage, the ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same milestone for the lower core stage coming up at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. Right now, the 4-person Artemis II crew is 248,000 miles away from the moon. And if all goes well, they will fly by it in 6 days.
GLS is go for core stage to internal power.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power. There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
And
1 minute.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that could come from the ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS go for ALS.
Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Servus Christi, viel Spaß da oben.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate beacon. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Ich bin sehr langsam, bis auf diese
Fabian, die ist scheiße schnell.
Schon schneller. Nein.
Die ist scheiße schnell.
Die kannst du im Flugzeug einholen.
Fabian, die ist sehr gut.
Nein.
Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Max Q.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic.
Ja, Concorde.
Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. Minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engines throttling up, guidance converged.
Und die will jetzt einfach mit 200.000 km/h den Boden aufklatschen und einen Riesen-Krater.
Nicht wirklich aufklatschen, eher... Ja, weiß ich gar nicht, ob sie aufklatschen. Ich glaube eher nicht. So, nur so nebenbei. So. SLS fliegt mit 1500 bis 1800 km/h bei Liftoff. Das ist sogar langsam. Das kriegst du nicht mit dem Flugzeug hin.
And upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation. Three minutes into the flight. Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange. Now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
Och nee. Kamera glitchy. Geil. Geil.
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
Copy jettison, Team Eco 8+02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tidris at the Carmen line.
Outstanding, Stan, we have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
Laut Kameraglocke ist es by the way bei denen jetzt 20:40 Uhr.
Lukas, mit einem Kampfjet bekommst du schon so 1300 km/h hin.
Kampfjet könnte sogar funktionieren.
Du kannst halt nicht straight up vertical fliegen.
Ja, das geht halt nicht.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Die Kamera glitscht schlimmer als unser Beamer in der Schule.
Was erwartest du bei im Weltall?
Nichts. Ich warte eh nichts.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Ist das sogar noch besser als unser Beamer.
Stimmt, unser Beamer kann auch schlimmer sein.
Integrity, 3 engine press.
Man sieht wenigstens noch was.
Aha. Ohne Disco.
3 engine press.
On time, now passing 5 minutes 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
Also das sind jetzt kein Kampfjet mehr.
Ne.
Integrity, looking good at 6 minutes.
Was für ein crazy Zoom hat gleich diese Kamera.
Real talk.
Good trajectory and engine performance. Booster officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling, expected at the 7-minute mark. Integrity, 78 miles in altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Integrity copies nominal shutdown.
Six minutes 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected.
Ob das Ding bei uns vorbeikommt, weiß ich gar
At
nicht.
8 minutes 2 seconds into the flight.
Lukas, 19.000 Kilometer pro Stunde.
Ja.
Safe, Kampfschiff
Fahren wir an. Nein.
7 minutes of mission elapsed time.
Google News berichtet
as
schon.
we approach the abort once around option. Milestone at the 7 minute 30 second mark. Now 84 miles in altitude, 650 miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
Integrity, AOA open.
AOA open.
The window is now open for an abort once around option that would target splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. Still following nominal ascent at this time.
Nein.
Doch.
About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO
Artemis
and core stage separation.
Oder Österreich.
Integrity and nominal MECO, core stage separated.
Yes.
We see the same on
Ja,
board,
ich weiß,
Stan.
das ist mit Teleskop geguckt, aber wie gesagt, laut Chatty, nein.
8 minutes 40 seconds into the flight, we have a nominal main engine cutoff heading in the right trajectory on the way to swing around the moon. Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft.
Geil. Geil.
9 minutes of mission elapsed time. Integrity crew of Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen now in orbit around the Earth at the beginning of their journey to the moon.
Oha.
Integrity Houston, looking ahead to PRM numbers so far per the pad.
Copy that, Stan. Numbers for the pad.
Capcom Stan Loves now reminding the crew that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition is as expected prior to booster ignition. That time being 49 minutes, 50 seconds of mission elapsed time.
Ja.
Integrity, good. Neds deploy.
Copy that, Stan. Good, Neds.
And Integrity Houston for PWD setup. Just a reminder, halfway open on the secondary.
We copy that, Stan. Halfway open.
Passing 11 minutes of mission elapsed time. Here, overhearing the conversation between Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman, already passing some milestones. We have a good nozzle extension deployment system. That is confirmed. Complete. We also have the visors are confirmed up. Now past the dynamic phase of flight, that is ascent. Their launch and entry suits that provided them an extra layer of protection. Now not as needed. They're going to raise those visors. And later in today's mission, they will begin to egress or get out of the suits to begin some of their initial tasks of activating some of the systems aboard in the Integrity spacecraft. It's passing 12 minutes of mission elapsed time. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that's targeted near 50 minutes of mission elapsed time, 49 minutes 50 seconds. That's what the crew is going to be working towards. The Commander Reed Wiseman pilot Victor Glover will focus on preparing for that milestone. In the meantime, mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen will start some of the activation of environmental control life support systems. You may hear confirmation of their activation over the Orion to Earth communication network.
Houston, C3 aux power back in auto.
Haben die dort oben eigentlich WLAN?
C3 aux and we're 2 minutes to maneuver.
Nein, die haben da kein WLAN.
Nee, weil die Astronauten dürfen ja... Das ist die erste Mission, wo die Astronauten ihre Privathandys mitnehmen dürfen. So richtig funny. Und so einfach so auf den Insta-Account so just chilling in space right now, what are you doing? So aufpoppt. Ist irgendwie funny.
Just chilling in space.
13 minutes and 30 seconds of mission elapsed time. We're going to continue to follow the crew of the Artemis II mission.
LTE.
They are beginning their journey around the moon to verify the systems that will take us to its surface. An incredible ascent. Artemis II is underway. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey to the moon. Still milestones to come up as we await solar array deploy and the critical burns that will get integrity into high Earth orbit around the Earth before engines are fired to get us around the moon. We'll keep tabs on Integrity and its crew from here in Mission Control Houston. But for now, we're going to send it back to you, Megan and Nicole at the Kennedy Space Center. Very jealous to hear how the launch experience was over on the Space Coast.
Yeah, Gary, if people are just joining us, welcome back to the Space Coast, where we just saw Artemis II lift off 14 minutes ago. And wow, what an amazing launch, and an emotional one, too. As soon as the rocket lifted off, Nicole, you had tears in your eyes, I had tears in my eyes, and we had all these people around us cheering. It was amazing.
Yeah, the energy was wonderful. I mean, it was a beautiful launch. You know, we've got 4 friends and family members headed to the moon. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, how does that make you feel as someone who, you know, is an astronaut as well, but also, as you said, friends?
Yeah, so proud of them. You know, man, we don't have the words in the English language to describe this kind of an event, and pride, love, so many emotions. You know, they are truly breaking some barriers, and hopefully, you know, as Gary just said, they've got a long day ahead of them, so wishing them well on everything, but so far, what a beautiful launch to watch.
Yeah, to be returning to the lunar orbit in more than 50 years. Maybe they go farther from Earth than any other humans before them. Maybe they see parts of the moon that we've never seen before. I mean, what a great start to what could be all of these milestones that we break in just a 10-day mission.
Yes, what a way to welcome in the Artemis generation.
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, we saw some beautiful shots we were covering of course, the rocket, of course, the Earth falling away as we continued up into our ascents, but also some of those crowd shots where we saw young and old, just emotional, overcome by this history-making moment.
Man, we are going back to the moon for all, and we saw that today. We saw that in all the crowds. And yeah, you guys just saw that view, the sunrise or sunset, I guess. They just made it over the crest of the Earth, and you could see the sun peeking over. One of my favorite views from space, and I can't imagine what they're looking at now, and I can't wait to see what they're looking at in about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, and you know, I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm surprised this launched on the first try, because we know, like any little thing, we have to be keeping safety in mind, and we want to make sure we're ready to go, but we were ready to go, and I think it surprised a lot of people. What a wonderful surprise on this Wednesday evening.
It did, you know, and it kind of surprised me as well, but you know, it's just a testament to the team here that has been working so hard on Artemis. You know, Artemis 1, we learned a ton of lessons. We learned a ton from the wet dress for Artemis 2. We were able to go in, fix those things. We even had a couple mishaps today, not mishaps, but a couple, you know, anomalies today that the team creatively came up with solutions for. It's just a testament to the teamwork that gets us to the moon.
And so we can continue to watch Christina, Reed, Victor, and Jeremy on their way now to the moon in Earth's orbit and awaiting the next in-flight milestones, deploying Orion's solar arrays. So why don't we get back in with Mission Control and Gary.
Hey, thank you, Megan. Again, we're following along in the action. It is a long day. They have a number of procedures they need to get to immediately in their timeline.
And Integrity Houston, crosstie is on board per the FCDM.
Oh.
We copy Houston, thank you.
Digga. Dieser Bluescreen, ich hab Flashbacks bekommen. Von Windows.
Crosstie referring to
Windows XP.
Flight controllers here
initiating
Windows
11.
Connection between some of the batteries aboard the Orion spacecraft, allowing for an even distribution of power. This is the flight control teams that took us through ascent of the Artemis II mission today.
Ja, der Typ hat 4 Monitore.
Right now we're, as you see, passing 18 minutes of mission elapsed time. The Orion spacecraft integrity and the interim cryogenic propulsion system are maneuvering tailored to Sun.
Und der da hinten da 7.
It is in this orientation, this attitude.
Integrity anywhere, it's on that momentary prop caution.
Und der hier hat 6 Monitore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ich will.
And read no action, we're looking
Ja, go work at NASA.
Auf gar keinen Fall viel zu kompliziert.
Aber da braucht man ein paar mehr, da brauchst du mehr Gehirnzellen.
Commander Reed Wiseman verifying what is being routed to his displays aboard Integrity. Propulsion engineer confirming that no action is needed at this time. They're pressing through with their nominal procedures to prepare for the perigee raise maneuver. And of course the solar array wing deploy ahead of that.
Nee, was?
The solar wing deploy is a critical milestone. We'll continue to have our coverage follow the mission until that deployment. A successful launch is just the beginning. The deployment of the solar arrays and successful confirmation that those solar array wings are drawing power is a significant milestone, and says to the flight control teams that we will continue on today's mission. Power needs to be drawn to continue through some of the next milestones. Until then, the AOA open option that was called up upon ascent, the abort once around, is the current option, and abort to orbit option ATO will be switched to a preferred mode at the time that the solar array wings are deployed and latched. It gives the flight control teams a little bit more flexibility.
Das übrigens jetzt, das wusste ich. Das, was ich auf Discord...
Hab ich nicht.
Ja.
Noch nicht.
Dann tu es nicht.
Give us just 1 minute. And Stan, you can read it. Ike is ready to copy.
Roger. TDRS handover east to west expected 1 second earlier at 5:1 minutes 26 seconds.
Hi, Stan. We copy 1 second earlier for 5126 TDRS east to west, and saws are starting to deploy. Thermal knives are firing.
We concur. Thanks for the report.
Readback of the reports that you just heard on the Orion to Earth network. Integrity has maneuvered tail to Sun. The RL-10 nozzle on the end of the ICPS is pointed towards the Sun, and the solar array deployment sequence has begun. With the deployment confirmed, it'll be several minutes until they are what is called in a latched position. Once they are latched and confirmed to be drawing power, they can switch the mode to ATO and continue along the mission. The teacher's handover at the pad, that message meant the crew was provided some preliminary numbers of when to expect handovers between the tracking and data relay satellites. Currently orbiting Earth at an altitude of 545 statute miles above the Earth, they are in a near-Earth network communication system. The tracking and data relay satellites, geosynchronous satellites that are stationed about 23,000 miles above the Earth. After the apogee raise burn that occurs later today, the burn itself will put them in an altitude that surpasses the range of the tracking and data relay satellites, and they will transition to the deep space network today.
And Integrity, for prop messages, we see 2 temperature measurements right near the line. It's that momentary message you saw earlier. We're going to suppress those. It's CM helium heater 2 T1 and heater 1 T1. They're going suppressed.
Integrity, thank you. We see the same.
This is Mission Control Houston, passing 23 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. This is after a launch that began at 5:35 and 12 seconds Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the orientation you're seeing from our arrow visualization that translates some of the telemetry that we're getting from the spacecraft and puts it into a model so you can follow along on some of the milestones that we are following here. The RL-10 nozzle that you see at the left end of your screen, though it is currently not firing, that nozzle is pointed towards the sun, and the solar arrays are currently deploying. From this visualization, they looked fully stowed in a position.
Integrity, we are happy to report that Jeremy has the O2 sensors on.
Copy O2 sensors.
Again, Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover overseeing the deployment of the solar arrays. And we'll follow the attitude maneuver changes ahead of the first burn of the ICPS engine, the perigee raise maneuver.
Integrity Houston, we see 4 saws deployed and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
Yeah, we're almost there in the procedure stand, and we see the same thing.
And Integrity Houston, we are seeing a 7-second miscompare between the MET on Orion and ICPS. We'd like you to read us the MET from your center status bar and for the ICPS on StackSum.
And Stan, we see a absolutely precise alignment. MET 25, 14, 15, 16, precisely aligned with ICPS MET.
Copy, thank you for that. We'll investigate a ground issue.
And Houston Integrity, ATO preferred set.
Copy, ATO preferred.
This is Mission Control Houston, 25 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight of Artemis II. We have confirmation that all 4 solar array wings are deployed and latched. This is the configuration needed to switch to ATO preferred, which you did hear confirmed from pilot Victor Glover. That mode has been switched. There's also a discussion with Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman about the alignment of the MET clocks on the Orion spacecraft and the ICPS. Commander Reed Wiseman confirmed the clocks are in sync, no issues. They're going to investigate it on the ground. We're proceeding with today's mission. 26 minutes of mission elapsed time and counting.
So, sind wir back.
Jetzt bleibt jemand Deutschland-Flaggen.
Ja.
Ich brauche eine Österreich-Flagge.
Ja, spam Österreich rein. Österreich ist besser. Aber du spammst, ich spam hier nicht dran, ich werde hier nicht politisch.
Habe ich Behinderung? Wo sind die ganzen Flaggen?
Die kommen erst, Fabian. Ich bin mir sehr sicher, dass sie erst kommen. Weil so viel gesendet wird, dass es einfach dauert, bis die Dinger ankommen.
Nein, bei den Emojis, ich finde die nicht.
Achso, ja, da finde ich sie auch nie.
Ich drücke jetzt Windows Punkt.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're approaching 28 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission.
6-7.
At this point, we've had a successful liftoff from the pad at 5:35 p.m. and 12 seconds p.m. Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. We've had a good main engine cutoff, core stage separation, and a good trajectory to begin today's mission. Right now, the spacecraft has maneuvered tail to sun. We're standing by for another maneuver to maneuver into the burn attitude. This is where the RL-10 engine of the ICBS is pointed in the correct orientation for the perigee raise maneuver. We did hear confirmation that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition has been confirmed per the pad, which means it was the predicted time prior to liftoff.
Integrity for GNC, we're taking channel 1 to unfiltered and to BFS.
Aber Hauptsache die Pride-Flagge. Die findest du. Nur nicht die Länderflaggen. Tut mir leid, aber
Capcom stand love, reading up to the crew of Integrity. They will switch the navigation source from channel 1, standing by for confirmation that that switch has occurred. Pilot Victor Glover will receive confirmation when, and as at least watching to confirm that that switch has occurred. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that we're heading towards, not too long from now, we're actually inside 20 minutes at this time from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver.
Gibt's sie auch auf Discord nicht?
We did have a successful deployment and launch of all 4 solar array wings. This is the configuration needed to commit to the perigee raise maneuver. Of course, flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston will continue to evaluate that everything is good before committing to that burn. The perigee raise maneuver does raise the perigee, the lowest point in the orbit, from 15 to 100 nautical miles. The 100 nautical mile mark is needed to continue in low Earth orbit and hit the target for the apogee raise burn. That will put them in a high Earth orbit for the remainder of the day and set them up for the right position to execute the translunar injection and head to the moon tomorrow. The burn duration of the perigee raise maneuver is 26 seconds. A relatively short burn, but it does raise the perigee and do the job to get into the correct position before firing that main engine on the ICBS. The pad had a teacher's handover. This is the tracking and data relay satellites, east to west. They are geosynchronous satellites that are positioned around the globe. And as Orion makes its way around the Earth right now,
Ach, Scheiße, das sind schon die Verschwörungstheoretiker.
West coast of Africa,
alles AI, alles Fake.
923 statue
Ich bin dann
miles
so gespannt, wie die 4K-Bilder als Fake
The perigee raise maneuver is not
bezeichnen wollen.
executed at the perigee.
Wahrscheinlich
it
dann
is
KI
rather
generiert.
executed on the actually closer to the apogee. But what it does is it raises the perigee at the other end of the orbit to 100 nautical miles.
Reiner Winkler.
The 26-second duration burn does not conflict with the time that they've reported of the tracking and data relay satellite handover from teachers east to west. Again, geosynchronous satellites that are used not only by Integrity today, but the International Space Station as well.
Können wir bitte aufhören, den Chat von der NASA als politische Austausch-Scheiße zu benutzen oder so?
That time of handover is
und hört auf 6-7 rein zu
51
spammen.
minutes, 26 seconds.
So als wäre ich jetzt der große Streamer mit tausenden Zuschauern, die alle da drin
before
sind.
The perigee raise maneuver cutoff happens, and the trajectory is analyzed to see whether it was a good burn. A good burn means that the burn was performed as expected and sets the trajectory on course for that 100 nautical mile perigee.
Digga, das kannst du nicht mal mehr lesen, da musst du wegschauen, da tun deine Augen schon weh.
Das ist TikTok, aber im Twitch, also im YouTube-Chat.
Digga, das kannst du nicht mal anschauen, so viel wird da gechattet.
Again, for those sticking with us on NASA Plus and following along on our coverage, we will continue to follow and to cover the mission until well, actually, we'll continue to cover the mission 24/7. But we'll wrap up our coverage here shortly. And now that solar array wing deployment has occurred on NASA Plus and Amazon Prime. Again, we will continue coverage 24/7 at the NASA YouTube channel. For those that want to see all of the upcoming milestones, there are select times where we will be coming back to NASA Plus and other streaming platforms. You can go to nasa.gov to find the latest on when to find those activities. Given that this is an operational mission, we do want to make sure that we are maintaining transparency in the mission and providing you all the information on what's happening in space as Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen head on their mission around the moon.
Okay, NASA Plus ist kostenlos. Danke, Liz.
Inside Integrity at this time. Again, the solar array wings have deployed.
Ja, braucht einen Streaming-Dienst für NASA.
Integrity is maneuvering
ich meine, wäre cool, wenn du so einen Streaming-Dienst hast, wo du, keine Ahnung, James Webb oder sowas live auch anschauen könntest, aber glaube ich, wird nichts passieren.
Overseeing these steps is primarily done by Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover.
In the chat is 6-7 und der Bubu drinnen. Nee, der wird es
on some of the system activation inside of Orion, namely the environmental and control and life support systems. The activation and checkout of some of these critical systems are very important to continuing on the mission, making sure that those systems are in a good condition and in a reliable condition to provide the necessary environmental and control needs of the crew, with humans on board through the duration of the mission that extends 10 flight days. Standing by for an update to the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition. Should be read up to the crew very shortly.
Integrity Houston, updated PRM numbers when you're ready to copy.
All right, Houston, we are ready to copy.
TIG is 2 seconds earlier at 4 minutes, 48 seconds. TIGO unchanged at 26 seconds.
6-7 Sekunden? Ja.
49.
6-7, ach du Scheiße, ich möchte es nicht, ich mache den Chat auf.
VI.
Er lädt. Der Scheiße. Wie oft wollt ihr noch AI behaupten?
This is Mission Control Houston. With that update, we are approaching
April Fool's Joke.
Minutes from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver.
Ich meine, die haben sich wirklich einen schlechten Tag zum Launchen ausgesucht, das muss man schon sagen.
Will now move to 49 minutes, 48 seconds. The duration of the burn, that's what was referred to as the TGO, will still remain at 26 seconds. Relatively short duration burn, again, just raises the perigee of the orbit today. Making sure they hit the mark on that time of
Ich glaube nicht,
ignition
dass die Rakete
is the primary concern of
ist, aber
Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. Mission Specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen inside activating those environmental control and life support systems.
Die einzigen Sprachen, die ich in diesem Chat eigentlich sehe, sind Englisch und Spanisch.
At this time, all 4 crew members are wearing the launch and entry suits.
Die Deutschen schreiben alle Englisch, weil alle Deutschsprechenden Englisch können und somit auf Englisch schreiben, weil sie wissen, dass das dann besser verständlich ist für die meisten Leute. AI. Ich habe tatsächlich drüber nachgedacht, ob ich nicht SLS-Videos mache. Ich habe wirklich Scripts mir geschrieben für Space Launch System, SLS, Artemis 2 und so weiter. Irgendwelche, warum Apollo nicht fake war und so weiter. Ich habe wirklich Scripts für Space-Videos mir geschrieben. Ich habe sie noch nie produziert oder veröffentlicht, einfach aus dem Grund, dass es extrem viel Arbeit ist, extrem viel Post-Production, weil du wirst das kannst du ja nicht machen, du musst es ja dann nachher. Du musst ja wirklich auch Grafiken und so weiter einfügen und das war mir einfach zu viel und das habe ich einfach gelassen. Außerdem, wenn ich mir jetzt ein Video mache, das bringt eh nichts, weil irgendwelche anderen großen Channel werden das schon 40 Mal gemacht haben. Und nein, Manuel, diese Kommentarsektion ist jetzt nicht Eigentum der der Bundesrepublik Deutschland.
In der Bundesrepublik Österreich.
Ja.
Das müssen wir mal im NASA-Chat schreiben. Diese Kommentarsektion ist Eigentum der Bundesrepublik Österreich.
Humanity is lost. Ja, bei den ganzen AI-Kommentaren definitiv. Wir machen so einen großen wissenschaftlichen Durchbruch und dann kommt nur, ja, alles AI, alles AI, alles KI generiert, alles Fake. Ich habe mal den Vergleich gesehen, so, die Mondlandungen, also die Apollo-Landungen zu faken, wäre mehr aufwendig gewesen und hätte mehr gekostet, als einfach hinzufliegen. Ich bin mir zwar nicht sicher, ob das so stimmt, aber ich könnte es mir sogar schon vorstellen. Obwohl Apollo scheiße viel Geld gekostet hat. Das ist die Bundesrepublik Deutschland, ich hab's gesehen. Diese Chat-Sektion ist hier mit Eigentum des Kaiserreichs Österreich, Ungarn.
Der reichste
Manuel hat geschrieben, diese Chat-Sektion ist hier mit Eigentum des österreichischen Kaiserreich Österreich-Ungarn.
Falsche Zeit, Nils.
Ja, wirklich. Das sage ich der Geschichte darin. Und nein, ich habe jetzt absichtlich nicht den Namen geleakt.
This allows for the greatest surface area of the solar array wings to be drawing power and powering up those batteries of integrity, of which a cross-tie was enabled between the 4 batteries, the 4 battery buses that are inside of Orion.
So, ich glaube, das diese Chat-Sektion ist hier mit Eigentum des Heiligen Römischen Reiches. Manuel, andere Richtung in der Zeit, andere.
To take on the loads
des Dritten Reichs
by the ICPS main engine
Nein, weiter.
when they execute the 26-second burn. You can see in the animation here,
nicht
the
zurück,
solar
nach
array
vorne.
wings are in motion, and the attitude is being
Leute, ich sehe es.
reconfigured
Wow.
to point the engine in the correct direction.
Du hast Augen.
Those solar array wings being pointed forward.
Naja, ich glaube, das war's dann auch schon wieder mit dem Livestream. Die Rakete fliegt für die nächsten Tage.
Ja, 5 Tage, dann muss es Update geben, sag ich auch.
Ja. Ein bisschen am Fliegen und das ist eh nur rendert.
Brumm.
Ist eh nur rendert, scheiße. Muss ich schon zugeben. Ein bisschen Live-Footage können schon reinschneiden.
Die hätten sich mehr Mühe geben sollen.
SpaceX macht da einen besseren Job. Das muss man sagen. Wenn SpaceX...
nicht Elon Musk?
Ja, ja, SpaceX gehört Elon Musk. Diese Chat-Sektion ist hier im Eigentum der Föderation der Vereinten Planeten. Wäre schön, wenn wir irgendwann mal dort ankommen würden, aber ich bin sehr convinced, dass wir, bevor wir mehrere Planeten besitzen, uns selber in die Luft sprengen mit Atombomben. Naja. Dann beende ich hier mit dem Livestream, weil mehr als Mission Control und 3D-Render werden wir nicht mehr sehen, glaube ich, erstmal. Und wenn es ein Update gibt, ein größeres, machen wir wieder einen Stream oder ein Video. Und dann bis dahin. Tschüss.